Welcome to Living Your Senior Life, the podcast where we explore tips, ideas, and inspiration for making the most of every season of life. Whether it's health, lifestyle, or a little bit of fun, we're here to help you live well, live fully, and live your best senior life. In today's episode, we're looking at Centenarian secrets for a long and joyful life. So sit back, relax, and let's discover what we can learn from those who've lived the longest.
What if the secret to not just living longer, but living vibrantly past 100 wasn't some, hidden miracle drug,
Right.
but actually a collection of surprisingly simple daily habits? That's really the question we're wrestling with today as we take a deep dive into the fascinating world of centenarians. These incredible individuals who truly defy the odds and thrive into their second century.
It's remarkable.
Yeah, and you sent us this stack of fantastic sources, articles, research, personal notes, all pointing towards these 15 habits of centenarians that promote longevity.
That's right.
So our mission today is to sort of unearth the most potent insights from all that material, offer you, the listener, a shortcut to understanding how to maybe boost your energy, improve your well-being, or, simply add more joy to your days.
It's truly compelling stuff, isn't it? What your sources consistently highlight, and this is really key, is that while genetics certainly play a role in extreme longevity.
Sure, you can't ignore genes.
Yeah, exactly. But the real game changer, time and again, it turns out to be lifestyle. Researchers have spent years studying these remarkable individuals across the globe, and their everyday choices, often incredibly practical and achievable, are what really stand out.
That's such a powerful shift in perspective, I think. It moves us away from just kind of hoping for good genes to understanding how much agency we actually have over our own potential for a long and well-fulfilling life. So, okay, let's dig into these habits. Where should we start? Maybe with something that seems almost too simple, yet really impactful.
Yeah.
How centenarians connect with the world, with others.
Connection and purpose.
That's a great place to start because one of the most consistent findings in the research you provided is just how crucial strong social bonds are.
Right.
They don't just feel good. They genuinely nourish the heart and mind, offering that vital emotional support and dramatically reducing loneliness. And what the studies emphasize is that it's less about the sheer number of connections.
It's not just Facebook friends.
Exactly. Not just quantity. It's much more about the quality. Those deep, trusting relationships are absolutely paramount.
So it's not necessarily about being like the life of the party with 1,000 casual acquaintances. It's more about that inner circle.
Precisely. We see centenarians maintaining incredibly close family bonds, offering mutual support across generations, sharing this rich tapestry of memories. Active friendships are also key. They prevent that social isolation, keep conversations stimulating.
Keeps the mind sharp, too, I bet.
Definitely. And importantly, community engagement, whether it's through clubs, volunteering, maybe religious groups, that creates a vital network. It fosters a strong sense of identity and belonging.
It paints this picture of being deeply woven into the fabric of life, doesn't it? In blue zones like Sardinia, Italy, for example, your sources describe how centenarians often gather in these close-knit groups for meals, celebrations.
Shared experiences.
Forming an almost unspoken safety net of emotional and social support. So for you listening, this might mean, reaching out to an old friend you've lost touch with, or maybe exploring a local community group that sparks your interest. Now, building on that idea of connection, one of the most compelling patterns that kept emerging in the sources you shared was this incredible emphasis on having a strong sense of purpose.
Oh, absolutely. It really permeated their lives.
Yeah.
It did. This powerful concept, known as ikigai in Japan, often translated as a reason for being, or sometimes the happiness of always being busy.
I like that one.
Or plan de vida in Costa Rica, meaning life plan. It acts as a daily motivation. It literally gives them a reason to get up each morning. And what's fascinating is that this isn't necessarily tied to a career or some grand ambition.
Right, not like climbing Everest.
No, it's often about meaningful everyday activities, maybe caring for grandchildren, tending a garden, volunteering at the local library, simple things.
So it could be something as basic as wanting to see your favorite rose bush bloom again next spring, or making sure your grandkids have a hot meal.
Exactly. And this sense of purpose isn't just a feel-good idea either. The research indicates it improves mental health, it enhances resilience against adversity, lowers stress, and even boosts physical health. There's evidence it might reduce inflammation and cardiovascular disease risk.
Yeah.
It can be a lifelong mission or just a simple daily intention. The scale isn't what matters, but the presence of it, that sense of why.
There's an incredible example of this from Okinawa, right? Where a 101-year-old woman starts each day by watering her plants and calling her daughter.
Simple rituals.
It just beautifully illustrates how purpose can be found in these consistent acts of care and connection. Living with this kind of direction, energy, and joy, it's clearly a habit that contributes deeply to a long, fulfilling life. And often, it seems like that purpose extends outwards, like a deep-seated desire to contribute, to help others. That came up a lot, too.
Absolutely. Giving back provides such a profound sense of value, purpose, and connection. Helping others fuels that purpose, and from a physiological standpoint, it promotes emotional health. It actually releases feel-good hormones like oxytocin, boosting mood and reducing stress.
So it's good for them and the people they're helping.
Exactly. And this can take many forms. Formal volunteering, sure, but also mentoring younger generations, cooking for loved ones, or simply offering encouragement and, a listening ear, giving within their means.
I love that example from the sources about the 99-year-old woman in Florida, the one who bakes muffins for her local fire department every month.
Yes.
Finding so much joy and meaning in that simple contribution, it really demonstrates that being useful, it just never goes out of style, doesn't it?
And how it keeps them engaged and fulfilled.
Mindful living and stress management.
So, okay, moving from that external world of connection to maybe the internal landscape, it's easy to assume centenarians are just, immune to stress. But the sources reveal they experience the same pressures as anyone else, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The crucial difference lies in how they respond to it.
Okay.
That's the critical distinction. They've developed simple but highly effective ways to let go, to protect both mind and body from the corrosive effects of chronic stress. This relaxed, almost detached approach, it helps reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and build emotional resilience over decades.
How do they do it? What are the methods?
Well, their methods often involve gentle daily rituals. Things like prayer, meditation, maybe gardening that came up before. Faith and spirituality frequently play a significant role, providing comfort and a broader perspective on life's challenges. They also consciously seem to employ laughter and lightness as tools, accepting what they can't control. That's huge.
Exactly.
And balancing individual stress with that strong community support we talked about.
It's more than just like simple stress reduction techniques. It sounds like a fundamental reorientation. That quote from your material, the 102-year-old woman in California who says, "I worry about things once, then let them float away like clouds."
Powerful image.
It really is.
Yeah.
It suggests they don't avoid stress, but rather have developed this profound internal architecture for processing it, for releasing it. It's not about an absence of problems, but maybe a mastery of emotional detachment. That's a powerful insight for managing our own daily pressures, isn't it?
Definitely. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, what emerges clearly from your sources is that a deep sense of gratitude, or perhaps spiritual faith, acts as a profound guiding force in their lives.
So beyond just stress management, it's a foundation.
Exactly. This isn't just about adherence to a belief system, though it can be. It's often a practical, daily approach to navigating life's challenges with peace and perspective, whether it's rooted in formal religion, personal beliefs, or simple appreciation for the everyday. Practicing gratitude boosts mood, lowers stress, and the research even suggests it improves heart health.
And the practices themselves.
Often simple but incredibly consistent. Things like keeping a gratitude journal, morning prayers, quiet reflection, and importantly, these practices are often tied into their community life, reinforcing those social bonds again.
It really is a testament to the power of perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see this in people like Joan McDonald, the centenarian wellness advocate. She credits morning gratitude journaling for maintaining a positive mindset. Specifically notes writing down 3 things she's grateful for daily.
Simple but effective.
Just taking that time to notice and give thanks,
Yeah.
it really can brighten your days more than you might expect. Okay, speaking of brightening days, one surprising but incredibly consistent habit among centenarians, according to your research, is their commitment to laughter.
Yes. It's almost like a secret weapon.
Right, providing both joy and apparently tangible health benefits.
This raises an important question, though. How exactly does humor tie into longevity? I mean, scientifically.
Yeah, what's the mechanism?
Well, the mechanisms are quite robust, actually. Laughter reduces stress hormones, cortisol, things like that. It boosts immune function. It enhances those social bonds we keep coming back to.
Right.
Vital. And it helps them cope with life's inevitable challenges. Centenarians often maintain this wonderfully humorous perspective, finding lightheartedness in small mishaps. They engage in social laughter, which strengthens connections, and they use humor for stress relief, triggering that rush of endorphins.
So it makes you feel good, and it's physically good for you.
Kind of. Even the physical act of laughing offers slight cardiovascular benefits and exercises respiratory and facial muscles. It's not a major workout, obviously, but it all adds up.
So it's not just a fleeting moment of joy then, it's like a woven-in habit. The example of the Navajo elders sharing humor to teach lessons and build community really illustrates how it can be part of the cultural fabric, contributing to a longer, happier life.
Exactly.
For you listening, maybe bringing more humor into your life, consciously seeking out moments of lightness. It could lighten your days and potentially improve your physical and emotional health. Another powerful aspect of their sort of internal lives is that centenarians just don't seem to stop learning. Many remain deeply curious about the world, truly showing that a vibrant mind doesn't have to fade with age.
This lifelong curiosity, you could almost call it a cognitive superpower. It helps protect cognitive function, reducing the risk of dementia, and crucially, it keeps life interesting and engaging. It's more than just a habit, it really is a mindset of continuous growth.
What kinds of things do they do?
Well, reading is very common, as you might expect, but they also learn new things at any age, whether it's figuring out new technology to connect with family or picking up a new hobby. This curiosity keeps their minds sharp, helps them embrace change with openness, and their mental engagement is often social too, through stimulating conversations, debates, games, you name it.
I love that story in your sources about the 100-year-old woman in Italy, the one who keeps her mind sharp listening to radio programs.
Yes.
And recently learned video calling just to stay in touch with her great-grandchildren. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
By staying curious and mentally engaged, centenarians continue to grow and connect, proving that a vibrant mind truly doesn't have to fade with age.
Physical health and routine.
All right, let's pivot a bit. From the mental and emotional landscapes to the physical habits that seem to underpin their incredible vitality. What strikes me in the material you shared is that it's rarely about, intense regimented workouts.
That's a key insight from the research, definitely. Their activity is almost universally tailored to their capabilities and seamlessly integrated into their daily lives. What's fascinating here is their exercise might be gardening, walking to the market, maybe just engaging in household chores, but doing them with intention.
Not structured gym sessions.
Generally not. This consistent, gentle approach encourages regular blood flow, maintains muscular strength and flexibility, all without the stress or, frankly, the injury risk associated with high-impact regimens. They tend to favor gentle walking, functional movements that keep them mobile day to day, maybe some stretching and balance exercises, and low-impact activities like swimming or Tai Chi. They listen intuitively to their bodies.
It sounds like it's about making movement just a natural part of their existence, not some separate task to be checked off a list. You mentioned Misao Okawa, the Japanese woman who lived to 117. She famously attributed her longevity partly to walking daily and doing light stretches inside her home.
Simple consistency.
Yeah. Embracing movement you actually look forward to, or that's simply part of your daily rhythm. That seems to be the key to staying active over decades, doesn't it?
It really does. Sustainability is everything.
Okay, now let's talk about food, a big one. Your sources highlight that centenarians' approach to eating is often characterized by intention and simplicity, and often very different from modern Western diets.
It's a hugely important area, and your sources are quite clear on this. Their diet is consistently centered on whole, primarily plant-based ingredients, and they practice moderation with remarkable consistency.
Moderation seems key.
Absolutely. If we connect this to the bigger picture, whether it's a vegetable-rich stew in Sardinia or that Okinawan practice of stopping when you're 80% full, their eating habits reflect this deep respect for food and for their bodies.
So what does that look like day to day?
Well, meals are predominantly built around vegetables, legumes, whole grains, healthy fats. Meat is often consumed only occasionally, almost like a condiment rather than the main event. Portion control is a daily conscious practice, like the hara hachibu, eating until 80% full in Okinawa.
That's hard to do.
It takes practice. They prioritize fresh, seasonal, minimally processed ingredients. And they tend to eat slowly and mindfully, often with others, making it a social event, too.
That mindful approach, the hara-hachibu, is so profound. And the idea of, vegetable minestrone being a daily staple in Sardinia, it just shows how nourishing and satisfying simple plant-forward meals can be. Eating wisely, then, It isn't about strict dieting, is it?
Not at all. It's about cultivating lifelong habits that nourish the body and make every meal a mindful, maybe even joyful experience.
Okay, shifting focus slightly to another critical restorative habit.
Why?
Centenarians clearly value good sleep, but your sources say they also don't overdo it. There's a finely tuned balance there.
Right. What's fascinating here is that they tend to follow natural sleep rhythms. This is often helped by their consistent daily routines, that regular physical activity we talked about, and generally low stress levels. They don't seem to rely heavily on sleep aids.
Oh, more natural sleep.
Very much so. They maintain remarkably consistent sleep schedules, going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time daily, often early to bed, early to rise, sort of following the natural light cues, while short restorative naps, maybe 20-30 minutes, are common and seen as beneficial.
Power naps.
Exactly. They carefully avoid excessive daytime sleeping that could disrupt that crucial nighttime rest. And they tend to keep their sleep environment simple and conducive to rest, dark, quiet, cool.
I found that quote from your material about the 101-year-old woman in Greece particularly insightful. She credits her long life partly to a strong cup of herbal tea at night and being asleep before 9 every single evening.
Routine.
It's that consistent restorative care that allows their bodies to thrive for the long haul, it seems. And often intertwined with their routines is another simple habit, one many centenarians embrace, probably without even thinking about it: spending time outdoors, getting natural light and fresh air.
Yes, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, it makes perfect sense. Regular exposure to natural sunlight is crucial for supporting healthy sleep cycles, regulating melatonin, and vital for vitamin D production.
Bone health, mood.
All of it. Simultaneously, fresh air and just immersing oneself in natural scenery demonstrably reduce stress and lift mood. Sunlight helps regulate our circadian rhythm, nature inherently lowers stress levels, time outdoors naturally encourages that gentle physical movement, it supports vitamin D and bone health, and for many centenarians, it's not like a special event, it's just a peaceful, integrated part of their daily routine.
It's a habit we often overlook, I think, in our indoor-centric lives. That 99-year-old woman in Costa Rica you mentioned, who starts each morning walking down the road to feed stray dogs and chat with neighbors under the trees.
Just part of her day.
Exactly. It's just part of her rhythm. Fresh air and natural light are maybe easy to dismiss, but for centenarians, they seem woven into the rhythm of life, gently supporting wellness in a way that feels effortless and enjoyable.
Okay, this next habit might seem, well, obvious given what we know about health today, but avoiding smoking or quitting as early as possible is one of the most consistent health habits across all your sources.
It seems obvious, but it raises an important question. Why is this so critical, especially when we're talking about extreme longevity?
Right, beyond the usual reasons.
Well, smoking is strongly linked to a multitude of severe health issues: heart disease, cancer, respiratory problems, which are major drivers of shortened lifespans. Consistently choosing clean air over cigarettes profoundly supports long-term vitality. It's that simple.
And the centenarians themselves.
Many simply never smoked at all, and those who did tended to quit very early in life, allowing their bodies significant time to reverse some of the health risks. Clean lungs mean better energy, better respiratory function, and often their surroundings, their communities, reinforce smoke-free living. That anecdote about the 99-year-old woman in Minnesota. She recalls trying a cigarette once in her 20s, but hated the smell so much she never touched one again. That simple aversion likely had decades of positive impact. Steering clear of smoking or quitting early on undeniably gives centenarians one of the best chances to protect their health well into their later years.
It's a non-negotiable, really.
And finally, on the physical front, alcohol. Many centenarians seem to include alcohol in their routines, but your research clearly shows there's a crucial caveat here. It's definitely not a free-for-all.
No, absolutely not. What's fascinating here is that when alcohol is present, it's virtually always in moderation. And crucially, often as part of a meaningful daily ritual. It seems less about the alcohol itself and more about the slow, social, and mindful nature of the experience it facilitates.
So the context matters.
Hugely. Moderation is absolutely key, typically one small serving per day, and often enjoyed with meals. Social connection is often central to this ritual, sharing a glass with family or friends, and there's never pressure to drink for those who choose not to.
And the type of alcohol, does that matter?
Well, in some Blue Zone regions, like Sardinia and Icaria, red wine is a traditional part of the diet, and some studies suggest it may offer heart benefits in that specific context, possibly due to antioxidants like resveratrol. But the emphasis is always on moderation and the social aspect.
That centenarian woman in southern France who enjoys a single glass of red wine with lunch every day, saying it warms the heart, not just the body. That really encapsulates that spirit, doesn't it?
Beautifully put.
For them, moderate drinking isn't necessarily a vice. It's a ritual often tied to joy, community, and the simple pleasures that enrich daily life.
Autonomy and structure.
So as we start to round out these habits, let's look at how centenarians structure their days and also maintain their independence. These two habits seem to go hand in hand in your sources.
They absolutely do. Centenarians often have structured yet remarkably flexible daily routines. And these routines are typically centered on meaningful goals, that consistent sense of purpose, which we discussed earlier.
Right, the ikigai.
Exactly. It helps them wake up motivated and maintain both their physical and mental health. Their routines often beautifully blend responsibility with leisure, maintaining a comfortable consistency without, rigid adherence. They might foster responsibility through caring for pets, plants, or family members, and their routines naturally integrate self-care habits. It's not about being a slave to the clock, but more about creating a gentle, predictable rhythm for their lives.
I'm thinking of Fauja Singh, the centenarian marathon runner. He was known for his incredibly disciplined daily routine, wasn't he? Included prayer, balanced meals, dedicated family time.
A great example.
Adopting a purposeful routine, it seems, offers this profound sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. So for you listening, cultivating a rhythm that suits your needs could dramatically improve your quality of life. And supporting that routine, feeding into it perhaps, is this deep prioritization of their independence. Centenarians often take immense pride in managing their own affairs for as long as humanly possible.
Yes, and what's fascinating here is how this strong sense of autonomy doesn't just feel good. It actively supports their dignity, their confidence, and surprisingly, even their physical health. It seems to fuel a positive cycle of well-being.
How does that manifest day to day?
Well, it includes diligently maintaining self-care practices like personal hygiene and grooming, confidently managing daily tasks like chores and errands, retaining confidence in their own decision-making. When needed, they skillfully use adaptive tools, walkers, grab bars, whatever helps to continue managing their lives, and they actively participate in social life rather than withdrawing as independence becomes more challenging.
The legendary Jean Calment, who lived to 122. She maintained so much of her independence, didn't she? Managing her finances, even riding a bicycle well into her 100s.
An extreme example, but yes. Preserving independence is clearly a powerful motivator for centenarians and really a cornerstone of their well-being. Global perspectives and scientific insight.
Okay, so we've walked through these 15 powerful habits, kind of extracting the common threads from your research. Now, maybe let's zoom out a bit and consider what the global perspectives and scientific insights tell us about why these habits matter so profoundly.
Well, your sources clearly illustrate how many centenarians hail from cultures that inherently prioritize things like nutrient-rich diets, robust social connections, and daily routines emphasizing natural sleep cycles and integrated physical activity. It's baked into the culture.
So it's not just individual choice, it's environmental.
Often, yes. We see common dietary patterns, those plant-based diets rich in whole grains, lean proteins, olive oil, fresh vegetables in countries like Japan, Italy, Costa Rica, Greece. These deeply ingrained cultural influences significantly impact life expectancy by fostering a more holistic rather than fragmented approach to well-being.
And the famous blue zones, those specific regions where people live exceptionally long lives. What are they revealing about these patterns? They've certainly captured a lot of attention in the longevity conversation.
The blue zones, places like Okinawa, Loma Linda in California, Sardinia, Icaria, the Nicoya Peninsula in Costa Rica, they offer this powerful living laboratory, really. The residents in these regions share consistent key factors.
Like what? What are the big ones?
Regular, gentle physical activity integrated into daily life, walking, gardening, an active lifestyle that naturally limits screen time. A balanced diet based on whole, plant-based foods, minimal processed items, limited excessive alcohol. Crucially, they also tend to share a strong sense of purpose, a generally positive attitude, robust family ties, low chronic stress, high emotional health, and regular social interactions.
It sounds like a combination of almost everything we've just discussed.
Exactly. These lifestyle choices collectively create an environment that significantly reduces chronic diseases and powerfully supports overall health and longevity.
Okay, this raises that important question your sources tackle. Is it all just in our genes, or can we truly influence our longevity through our choices? You know, the age-old nature versus nurture debate, but for a long life.
That's the fundamental question, isn't it? What the research you've provided reveals is that while genetic factors are undeniably crucial, you can't discount them, they interact very closely with environmental and lifestyle factors.
So it's both.
It's an interaction. While some centenarians may indeed have exceptionally good genes, their consistent lifestyle and daily environment are equally, if not sometimes more, influential. For example, communities like Loma Linda with the Seventh-day Adventists or the Nicoya Peninsula, they often share a deeply embedded sense of purpose and strong social connections. These are environmental factors that significantly contribute to better mental and physical health outcomes, potentially regardless of individual genetic predispositions.
Interesting.
Consistent exposure to these positive environmental factors and healthy daily routines truly seems to give centenarians an edge in the fascinating world of longevity.
So after dissecting all these habits and looking at the global patterns, what does this all mean for you, for the listener, and how you live your life right now?
Well, I think the big message is that adopting even a few healthier habits can make a profoundly significant difference. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. That powerful combination of balanced diets, rich in whole foods, plant-based staples, whole grains, healthy fats regular, gentle physical activity, strong social connections, lifelong learning, and effective stress management. It creates a really robust foundation for a long and healthy life.
It's a package deal.
As in a way, yes. Centenarians around the world consistently share this collection of habits that influence both their physical health and their mental well-being. It really proves that these conscious choices truly count, perhaps more than we sometimes realize. Outro.
We've taken quite a deep dive today into these remarkable 15 habits of centenarians. From the power of deep social connection to mindful eating, the joy of keeping a curious mind, and the importance of daily movement. It's incredible how many simple yet profoundly powerful threads run through their lives across cultures and continents.
It really is. And I think what your sources ultimately reveal is that living to 100 or just living well for longer isn't about chasing some unattainable perfection or finding a single magic bullet.
Right.
Instead, it seems to be about diligently building a life rooted in purpose, connection, and these simple, sustainable habits. Longevity often springs from the small, thoughtful choices made consistently, day after day, over time.
So whether you, listening, adopt one habit from today's deep dive, or maybe several, the goal isn't just to live longer. It's really to live better, with more energy, more meaning, more connection at every stage of life.
Exactly. So maybe as you go about your week, consider which one of these habits resonates most deeply with you right now. And think about how even one small, thoughtful choice today could contribute to a life filled with more energy, more joy, and more meaning, not just in the distant future, but starting right now.
Thanks for listening to Living Your Senior Life. Be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode, and visit livingyourSeniorLife.com for more articles, resources, and inspiration. Until next time, keep living your best life.